Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to learn how to find the equations of parallel lines and perpendicular lines. And I'm going to start with parallel lines first. This is an example of two parallel lines. Now, if you have two lines that never intersect or never cross each other, it means the lines are parallel. They never intersect each other as they have the same steepness. That's why we say that they have the same slope. So if the gradient of this line L1 is 2, that means the gradient of this line L2 is also 2. So we can say for parallel lines, the gradients are always the same, and you can write that this is true for parallel lines, M1 equals to M2. Now there are other kinds of lines that do intersect, but the angle at which they intersect may vary. You can see that for these two lines, they're intersecting at this point, and the angle of intersection is this, which is not the same as this one. One is this angle, the other angle is this. Now, what if the two lines intersect at 90 degrees? This is an example of that, and this kind of lines are called perpendicular lines. If two lines are perpendicular, then their slopes are always negative reciprocals of each other. That means if the gradient of this line L1 is 2, let's say it's 2, then the gradient of this line L2 is going to be negative first, which is negative 2, and then the reciprocal of that. And reciprocal means 1 over that number, and that will give us 1 over 2, that is negative half. So you can say that if you multiply the gradients of two perpendicular lines, you will always get negative 1. So 2 times negative 1 over 2 will give you negative 1. So for perpendicular lines, you can say that the product of their gradients is always equal to negative 1, and they are negative reciprocals of each other. If the gradient of this line is is 3, that means the gradient of this line is negative, which is negative 3, and then the reciprocal, which is 1 over 3. And if you multiply 3 times negative 1 over 3, you will also get negative 1. Now let's look at two examples and see what kind of problems you can have in the IB exam. So this is the first type of question. We have to find the equation of the line L2 that passes through the point 1, 3 and is parallel to the line L1. Now, this is very important. We already know that the two lines are parallel. We don't know the gradient for this line, but you can use the gradient of this line because their gradients are going to be the same. So for line L2, you can say that y equals to mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. And we already know the slope of this line from this, because a straight line is always written in this form. Actually, this is one of the forms that you can use. And the number with x is always your gradient. In this case, this is 5. So we can say the gradient of this line is y equals to 5x plus b. But to find the equation of this parallel line, you need to figure out the value of b. And you can do that by substituting this point, because we know that the L2 is passing through this point 1 and 3, where y is your 3 and x is 1. If you substitute that, you're going to get 3 equals to 5 plus b, and if you move the 5 to other side, that will be negative 5. 3 minus negative 5 is negative 2. That means your b is negative 2. Then the equation of this line is going to be y equals to, where's my gradient? 5x minus 2. Now, if you compare these two equations, you can see that their gradients are the same, but they have different y-intercepts. That means the two lines are parallel. And this is how you can find the equation of a parallel line if you know the equation of the other line by using the gradient of that line. Now, let's look at an example for perpendicular lines. Similar example, the only difference is that these two lines are perpendicular. So find the equation of the line L1 that is perpendicular to the line L2, and the equation of L2 is y equals to negative 5x plus 3. And this line L1 is passing through the point negative 5 and negative 4. So for perpendicular lines, we know that the gradient is negative reciprocal. The gradient for this line is negative 5. That means the gradient of the line perpendicular to this line is going to be First of all, you have to make it negative, and negative 5 is positive 5, and then the reciprocal, that means 1 over 5. That means my gradient of L1 is 1 over 5, and I can write y equals to 1 over 5x plus b. But we still need to find the value of b, and we can do that by using the point that has been given. This is my x and that's my y, and I'm just going to substitute that. So y equals to negative 4 and x equals to negative 5 plus b, and this will give me negative 4 equals to 5 and 5 gets cancelled out, and you just have minus 1 plus b. If you move this negative 1 to the other side, that will be negative 4 plus 1, negative 4 plus 1. That means my b is negative 3. So the final equation of this line is y equals to 1 over 5x minus 3. This is how you can find the equation of a perpendicular line if you know the equation of the other line. Okay, you can see that the product of the gradient is always going to be equal to negative 1. If you multiply 1 over 5 times negative 5, you will get negative 1. Okay, so that will be all for today. This is a short video. If you think my videos are helpful, then don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time. Thank you.